my fingers, so I kind of look kind of crazy just now, but that's all good though.
We gotta let them have it. We gotta let them see it.
Yeah.
So as y'all can see, we're still at a remote location. Um, Kind of been at a remote location, but it is what it is. Um, how's it been down your neck of the woods, man? I know we've been having some spotty days. It's been really hot one day, and then it's raining all day another day. The weather is very, very erratic right now.
Yeah, well, I can't say what just came to my mind because that might offend some of the female counterparts. But I'll put it to you this way: it is kind of moody right now, to say the least. Outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Mother Nature is absolutely not happy.
Yeah, yeah, man. I I don't know, dude. Like, what sucks the worst is when you have that humidity outside. It's just like, oh god, like shoot
Mm-hmm.
me now, like.
It's like sticking your head in a bucket.
Yeah, it's like you can't, what, because the air gets harder to breathe, so
Right.
so you just kind of have to stay inside. But thanks to COVID, everybody's been inside now for almost 4 months. So I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
freaking
fact.
staying and seeing the inside of a space starts to become kind of just draw, man. So yeah, slow deaths for some people.
No, indeed. I'm really hoping to see a great turnaround at some point. But as you know, that's a whole other big
Yeah.
discussion, and everybody's wondering that right now. But I think it's like that one song. I was singing it last night. We just got to be thankful for what we've got, man.
Yeah, man,
You know.
definitely. And it's like that other song that Diddy remixed. I'll be missing you. I've been saying that to some of the past years. I'll be missing. Yeah, man. It's some, you know what, you be surprised when you go through days like what we go through now,
Yeah.
how the little things that you take for granted actually are big, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely can't play Dear Summer this year.
Oh
By
no,
Jay Z.
definitely no. Definite negatives.
Man, yeah. But we'll get there, man. We'll get there. Speeding along too, man. One of the things that I did notice, I know that we had touched on this on an offline conversation, but with TikTok.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I didn't get the full article on it or anything. I mean, we could look it up some point during the show, share it with the viewers too. But Steve Stout is showing interest in TikTok, and you had put up a really good informative video on TikTok versus other means like using Instagram and all these other different marketing means. What's your take on that, and one of the biggest moguls in music and entertainment looking to acquire some of that pie there?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, like, I mean, and I mentioned it in the video that I put on my YouTube, how the culture of the younger audiences is connected wholeheartedly to the TikTok platform. It really does have some similarities to what MySpace was doing back in the day. Just how, I remember when Facebook was kind of getting on the scene and I was a teenager, how, I just lived on MySpace because that was already where my friends were. That's where I was having probably a better social life. So I mean, like, when you think about TikTok, right now, there's just so much content on there that really is kind of easy to consume. That old lady trying to, be young, that's kind of what the culture and the story has been, and Mark Zuckerberg. So he puts out, a not a tweet, but he puts out a message in one of the articles how TikTok is kind of like the Explore feature on IG, and it's like, of course you're gonna say that because you own TikTok. You of course you're gonna. That's like me going into my house and saying, well, you know, my kitchen looks way better than their kitchen. Yeah, but he has gas. Like he has a few like he has a nice refrigerator. Like he has like but he has like a beer refrigerator over here. Like, yeah, bro. So of course you're saying that, you know. Right. I think, you know, at the end of the day, the real challenge that I think TikTok needs to or anybody that owns TikTok for this matter, and this was the same thing that happened with MySpace. I use the parallel because it does kind of prove to be a true point. What killed MySpace at the end of the day was that the platform just could not evolve as the users evolved. And they were struggling where people were growing older, needing basically something to adapt to their lifestyle changes, the changes of the technology that was rolling out. Like in 2007 was when we saw the first iPhone roll out. You know, we kind of saw so many shifts in society that MySpace just was not shifting with. And so the real question of time will be what will TikTok, you know, be a platform that's going to evolve with the society and also kind of introduce other cultures that's specifically connected to that app. Like if you think about Twitter, specifically Twitter, a culture that we've all inundated in our lifestyle is hashtags. Because hashtags at one point, Twitter and hashtags has been the beginning of it. But at one point we used to use hashtags as a way to emphasize a message.
Right.
And you know, and all social media platforms now has adopted the mindset of connecting hashtags to content, to people. The movements we've seen, Black Lives Matter, hashtag Black Lives Matter. We've seen literally a whole culture now that's been created by a platform. So that says something there. That literally says that if I own a social media platform, or if I'm a social media platform, not only do I have to adapt with the societal changes and technological changes, but I also have to make sure that I'm introducing cultures as well. And that's where I feel, like I said in the video, I don't feel Instagram at this point. I just don't feel Instagram is going to be the winner out of the TikTok versus IG war, because they're not necessarily they're not being innovative. They're just kind of being, you know, copying. You know, they've copied everything from other social media platforms, you know. So
but what is there new to create at this moment? And let's not expound on that too much, because you know, if we're going to get into our scientific bag, we need to together offline.
It can get really deep, but yeah. And I was about to say,
you know,
yeah. Well, you know, to your point, there has been a lot of roads that people have gone down already, and yeah, I get it. You know, we're at that new threshold where so much has been done, but you know, there is still, you know, enclosure to it, because we don't want to dive too deep into it. But there, you know, like if you think about now, going back to like what I said with technology. Like when iPhone first rolled out in 2007, you know, there was a culture that people was adapted to with their cell phones and not having a screen, first of all, that you would touch to interact with. Secondly, the other thing was having a device where you literally could actually watch videos and do everything else. So that culture got embraced by Facebook way better than MySpace back then. Now, literally, when we look at what's happening now with augmented reality, When we're starting to see, apps like Amazon enable a person to pretty much hold up their phone to size a bicycle or size a drawer or a couch or something in their living room. Google now has a feature where science teachers can actually hold up their tablet or whatever, their smartphone, and see the periodic table up there, augmented reality. Literally, that augmented reality is just kind of another piece to a mystery that needs to be solved. How is this new feature that we're starting to see now be incorporated into our everyday lifestyle? So that's kind of an answer, but not a direct answer to that question. What else could be done? But I would say, when we get these new features and these new things, that's where those answers can be in, But I don't know. That's a good point.
So real quick, for the people out there that aren't familiar with what augmented reality is, can you break that down for them real quick?
Yeah, simply put, back in the day, we saw Snapchat up on our phones, and you could have some little memoji of you dancing when you held up your phone camera in your living room or in your driveway or whatever. That object was not physically there, but when you held up your phone, it looked like it actually was in your living room. That's basically what, simply put, augmented reality is. It's not virtual reality where we're seeing the Google Plus glasses and stuff like what we saw when the Samsung S8 and prior was coming out. This is literally, you're seeing pretty much objects through that device in real spaces in real time that aren't really there. I hope that defines it a little easy.
No, definitely. That was pro, man.
I appreciate it, man.
That one down. So another thing that I wanted to bring up also, because and slow me down if it seems like we're getting off base here, but
we're good.
As far as social media, let's do this. So if you could have it your way on one social media channel, as far as to be able to market and do everything that you want with just the platform itself, which one would you take, and what would be the biggest pros for you to accept that platform if they gave you these specific options without the limitations, without advancing and coercing the conversation in a certain type of way?
Yeah. So I think and this is kind of like I mentioned, even like in the video, the real question, because you mentioned market, so this is obviously commerce driven. So when the real question is, when you have a platform that you choose, as a marketer, you want to say, is my target audience going to be on that platform? That's the first thing. So if my target audience is there on that platform, then the next question is then leading into the point that you raise: what features do I want that appeals directly to that target audience? So like literally, it's so many things, Doc, that.
But what would you choose? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I guess I didn't phrase it right. So like, if you were able to have, like, let's picture it this way, IG, without them having that limitation as far as the amount of people you could reach, or to have YouTube without having to have that many watch hours or that many subscribers, or if you could just knock all of that down and just get like an XP boost, boom, you're at the level that you need to be at right now. Which channel would you take and why?
Specifically, I would say right now, if I was to really hang tough on one social media platform that I could trust, it would actually be YouTube, because YouTube is also, realistically, it is a social network, but it is a search engine. You know, that's actually a search engine connected to Google with content that you could find. But I could trust that because literally it's that search engine backing is what makes honestly content accessible to everyone and easy to kind of find. You know, it and then at that point it just kind of comes down to, if I made a video on social media on YouTube, you know, me actually titling it right and me sharing it, putting in the appropriate tags, but also putting it in front of the people that are going to like it to help it move up in the ranking so that it can be connected. So literally I like it because the algorithm on it is actually gotten simpler and simpler and simpler over the years. And this is something that I think other platforms need to learn from. Like, look, like if you go into Facebook, God bless them, but Facebook has been so overly saturated with, because it's the biggest social media platform out there. It's been so overly saturated with ads. It's been so overly saturated with memes. It's been everything, like where it's just now hard to, you know, really, it's like walking in the middle of Times Square during Christmas time every single day. Like literally you're seeing all the advertisements. You're seeing the highest levels of traffic because people are engaging and consuming, you know. And of course it's great if you're wanting to make sure your content is in front of as many eyes, but when you have so much traffic in one spot, you know, unless you're doing things like pixel ads where that topic is reappearing in front of that person again, which is a big tool that I'm probably going to be doing another video about. But if you don't have those things that's in there, you're just going to get lost in the stack of needles that's in there. So YouTube, the monetization rules are indeed, they are challenging. Yeah, 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours, which equals up to 4,000 watch hours literally is 200,000 minutes of views, you know. And technically, if you were to do the math, if you did, you know, if you were to do, let's say 200 videos and each one of those videos, you had 100 minutes of collection of views for each video, then you would get it. You know, that means you're putting out a lot of videos in the year's time, because that requirement of monetization, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 within a year to get monetized. So yeah, it definitely is a challenge, but it isn't necessarily too hard when you're creating, you know, good content. For example, like I have a video now on my YouTube. I'm not monetized yet. I'm at like 604 subscribers now, so I got a little ways to go on my end. But I have a video now, you know, where I have like, let me just look, because I actually don't remember the amount of minutes and hours that has been viewed with, but like literally this video here, if I look at just the whole year of watch time to this video, right now, I have over 41,652 minutes of viewership to that one video.
All right, so you about 20% there.
20% there, and that's off of one video, mind you. And that video is indeed what makes that video one of the great examples of what YouTube is looking for. It's a video that honestly was answering a common question that a lot of people was asking, that was connected to a specific niche. So the answer is, hey, look, you know, if you can make content that's specifically solving problems to that niche, then that's the golden key right there. You know, that you know, literally the videos that you see how to hack YouTube and how to quickly get the views, they're really a bunch of they're literally a bunch of baloney. It's clickbait, because the truth is, to really win on the YouTube monetization battle, they fixed it really well, and it's really simple. Make stuff that people want to see.
Yeah.
As simple as that. like, if you're a person that likes Harley Davidsons and you collect Harley Davidson regalia and you do bike stuff and all that and everything else, guess what? Talk about things that people that love Harleys love to talk about. It's as simple as that. You don't have to be standing in front of your Harley doing the Harlem Shake or, doing, the new WAP dance to go viral.
Man.
It's nothing like that at all. Like, get the idea of just trying to make it viral real quick out of your head, because that's, if I'm riding a Harley Davidson and I see your title is my best Harley Davidson opinion, and I am thinking, okay, cool, I like Harleys, I like to hear what his opinion is, because maybe it might help me be a better Harley rider, or maybe I might learn something that can help me with my next bike. I click on it and I see you doing the next generation of WAP dance. I'm gonna skip to the next video, and that's not gonna help your views at all. All that is gonna show is that you didn't, in YouTube, like I said, their algorithm is really basic. They have retention rates in there. Like, you go into YouTube Creator Studio, all of this analytics and statistics that are in there all make sense. You see a retention rate in there. They put that in there to tell you this is how long people actually are watching this video. So if you made a 16-minute video and your retention rate is 30%, that means that people are probably watching 5 minutes of that video. And then after that, boom, they're on to the next thing. So, and it's not like that for every video, but yeah, you kind of have to do that,
Hey, wanted to give a special shout out real quick here to Alicia Grimes on Twitter. Appreciate the follow. Thank you for checking out the links to our show.
Yeah, definitely. God bless you. Thank you for tuning in. Definitely.
No, but you know what? Honestly, I think what it comes down to is like how you made the analogy. You made the analogy with the Harley Davidson. So immediately, you can't just jump onto the bike that you love.
Right.
You got to start off with a little putt 250.
Right.
Maybe even a 125, a dirt bike or something.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I think with just having the knowledge, having the wherewithal, and knowing about all this stuff, I think that it definitely helps out a lot. So, would you also recommend and encourage people to go outside of forms like YouTube? Like, you yourself are a recent graduate of Full Sail. Again, congrats for that.
Yeah.
And,
back again for the masters. I just love student debt for some reason. I don't know.
Hey man, you know what? You're in position to do it. Go for it. Go get it.
Yeah, man.
Go get it. 100%. So, with that being said, aside from the education being an enriching factor, and you actually getting that, getting the paper as well, you're getting something else out of it. So, not really to push this on people, but let them know how important it is to take even just a course, something like Ruby on Rails. If you want to get into specifics, go right ahead.
So here's the thing. So, like, I'm working on a video now. Actually, it talks about I'm working on a video now. I'm not gonna drop it just yet, but I'll put it to you this way. The first thing that I would, and I come from the standpoint first, before my education, I come from the standpoint as a freelancer that is worked as a social media strategist for companies, and interned for the American Bankers Association in DC as a communications intern. And that's an amazing story in itself, because that was in 2010 when a lot of this stuff was really kind of just getting serious. Like, that was when hashtags was really popping on Twitter. That's when Facebook was starting to. So literally, when I had first, before even the Full Sail bachelor's and now master's program came into fruition, there was just a culture of just always being on top of, of everything happening, like literally. And if if you're not a person that school's not for everybody, and everybody may not want to get a bachelor's or go for a master's or even a certification, but like literally, if you really want to do this the right way, you got there. And you mentioned courses. There are a lot of courses that are out there, some of which aren't that great, but there's a lot of good free stuff. HubSpot, for example, puts out a lot of HubSpot. I encourage anybody to go to HubSpot's website right now and sign up for their mailing list, because they send out some good webinar. They have great webinars. Matter of fact, they put out some really great videos that is always talking about the latest trends on social media. That's always talking about good ways to boost engagement and things like that. And see, when you learn about that stuff, it sets a mindset where you are always shifting and changing. The social media is literally like waves, like literally, and you're a surfer. You gotta catch the waves and ride with them. There's this mindset where I'm going to be a trendsetter. That's why I say, like, literally, don't be in the mindset of trying to go viral, because viral things don't happen just like that. Literally, viral things is literally sometimes great random opportunities that just happen to work in that moment. You gotta be in the mindset of being a surfer. This wave is coming. I need to catch it. I need to ride with it as long as it's going. And when that next wave comes, I'm gonna catch that one and ride with it as long as it's going. And that's where you gotta know how to look for the waves. Yeah. Like literally, that only comes when you really are paying attention, and you've practiced, and you've are always taking whether it be classes or webinars, like Full Sail. If you're a Full Sail student, now this is something I can say about Full Sail. The way it works with Full Sail, so the classes that I've took to get my bachelor's there, they have a pretty much a lifetime connection, that at any time in my life I could go back and retake a course for continuing education with no cost at all. Because the reality is, the stuff that I learned 2-3 years ago, someday will be old news. And it's like, so you need refreshers. You need to pick back up and kind of roll with it. If you're working for a business, for example, as a freelancer, they hire you to be their digital marketing consultant. That doesn't just mean social media. There's a lot more aspects to digital marketing than just social media. You got SEO optimization. You got Google Ads management. You got, like I mentioned earlier, Pixel Ads management. You got pay-per-click management. You got you got nurture marketing, which is email marketing, which is valuable, by the way. So literally there's so many other aspects where it's like, if you want to do this and pursue this seriously as a career, then you gotta, at least inundate yourself to those things and get kind of down to the nit grit of how it all works and comes together. Now you have your specialty, but you still gotta have, kind of like, the gist of a key practice of it all, and some of it comes from, like I said, taking those courses. But I do encourage everybody to connect with HubSpot. HubSpot is good. Like they got it going on when it comes to giving people free training, and then they have stuff you pay for. But literally, when it comes to free stuff, they're the best place to go on the net right now.
Dope. That's a lot of good information right there. So,
yes, sir.
As we move forward here, another one of the things that I wanted to not speed past is the fact that Jamie Foxx was in a super dope movie that just came on to Netflix. Let's go pull up the title of that movie, because this said movie is something that we definitely needed this month. So let's see, Netflix, Jamie Foxx, Project Power. That's the film. Man,
Yes, sir.
if you haven't seen this, you definitely need to get on Project Power. It takes place in New Orleans. Some very special things happening to people when they're taking this pill. I don't really want to give away more than that. I think it'll take the
Yeah, I
fun
think
away
it's just
from
a
it.
thing
You
you
know?
gotta go in and
Yeah,
just
you
watch
gotta check it out.
it, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
what more can you ask for? Jamie gave you Ray. He was also Electro in Spider Man. You know, he played just
It's
about
going to be Mike
everybody.
Tyson.
Soon to be Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's gonna be big. Yep, yep.
Yes, I think only he'll be the second person to play him next to Michael Jai White.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And he actually drops on I think it's on his Twitter account.
Mm-hmm.
I bet if you was to go to Jamie Foxx's Twitter account, it's probably up there. But he actually drops the first scene sequence on there. Talks about exactly what the first scene sequence is going to be, which is pretty interesting. So, I actually had talked about it some time ago. But yeah, that's going to be a pretty interesting film, to say the least. You just kind of just tweeted Jamie Foxx. You do know that, right?
Yeah, Brick, I think he killed the guy. You might want to go lay low for a couple of days.
Yeah, you might want to lay low.
Anchorman, I get a lot of mixed reviews on this, but Anchorman, just with, I guess just the style how they did that in comedy, it was silly, stupid, and funny at the same time. But
Yeah.
I can always pull up a quick quotable from out of there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like people watch Anchorman and it's like, what is the point of this? I get that, but it's like you can't look at Anchorman like you would any other film to begin with. Like when you kind of just look at it from the point of comedy and enjoy it that way, then at least you can kind of say it's pretty good, But yeah, I get it. Rotten Tomatoes, they put a hard score on it. I think the last time I checked, it was like 64%. So, but those guys, it's like some of those critics they're really, and I never take away from any of the critics on Rotten Tomatoes because a lot of them are really good. But it's like you guys got to chill a little bit. And I literally mean that. You guys got to chill. And that's the purpose of Anchorman. It's a chill movie.
Yeah, that's all it really is. It's obnoxious humor and just like a chill theme to it at the same time.
Just look out for the guns. They'll get you.
Yeah, he was like, what is that smell? This is Sex Panther. 60% of the time it works on. Hey, what are you talking about, bro?
Smells like oh my god, man. That doesn't make any sense at all, man.
So for those that are watching it right now, that definitely did not want to take the time to peel away from it. You guys know what's on. For those not watching it, guilty of it. But I'm not swaying one way or the other as far as politics. But the Democratic National Convention is live at the moment. Read you the headlines here. The third night is underway with Barack Obama and Senator Kamala Harris set to speak. So you may want to tune into that and then catch us later if that's on your to-do list right now. But just know to keep your ear to the ground as far as what's going around and be civically engaged out there.
Facts. Definitely facts on that. Yeah. Ready for November to get here, man. That's all I gotta say. Yeah.
And I'm just really I'm looking out the front door, man. I'm thinking of the main source song right now.
Yeah.
Been stuck in the house. Restricted. Everybody's basically restricted from travel
Mm-hmm.
A lot of major countries, you know, a lot of things just put on hold. A lot of things put on hold. You know, it's time definitely to be creative. They can take those gems as far as marketing and everything out there, for the creatives that are going to be watching this. You know, definitely check it out. You know, some stuff up there that people might not share with you sometimes. Jasper just shared it with you.
There you go.
And it's just not that easy to get sometimes. You know, with that said, you know, moving forward. So there's another flick. And I'm looking at something right now that I think you're talking about as far as with Jamie Soul. It's something for Pixar.
Mm.
Yeah. There's a Pixar Soul.
Mm.
Yeah, he's set to be. He said Pixar's first black lead in that. You know, that's definitely really cool. I think the Pixar movies I like. Mature hints at stuff, but not as bad as some other companies, which I won't name right now.
Yeah.
Because you know, not doing that here.
We're gonna be respectful. There you go, right there.
Jeez, man. So yeah, you know, you got Jamie Foxx there. Jadakiss is actually he's the star of one of his films too. Let me give him his proper respects here. I think it's a Pixar film.
Mm.
I think it actually is a Pixar film. It's available right now on Netflix too.
Mm. Okay. Big ups to Jada. Yes, sir.
As we're looking for it, you know, what is this? Okay, so what are we gonna type here? Jada Kiss Pixar. Nope. Jada Kiss cartoon. Oh, that was easy. Okay, so this right here. Shout out to A Tribe Called Blessed. His tweet says, "What 2020 needs is more of Jadakiss voicing cartoons." I think I'm gonna share that with them real quick.
It depends on, I guess, on the audience of those cartoons you trying to appeal to, man. Good Lord, man, that's funny.
This actually looks pretty cool. He's playing like some type of superhero or alien or something, which is probably both, considering Superman.
Mm.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so the name of it, God, does it even show the name? I'm watching a cartoon on Netflix starring Jadakiss. 2020 is a wild place. Yes, it is, Whitney Houston. 91. Not Whitney Houston, but Whitney Houston. 91.
Oh,
I see what you did there. Okay.
Oh, man. Ugh. Yikes. Yeah. You need Grammarly. Speaking of which, actually, that's one of my brand partners now, Grammarly.com. So I definitely would encourage whoever that was. You might want to get Grammarly, by the way, for that various cause. Yeah. They actually have included now a new keyboard feature too, where you can. It's supposedly like automatically, like your grammar is automatically set as soon as you put the words in the sentence.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Cyberdyne is taking over already.
I tell you, man, these kids, man, they're gonna be. Well, I ain't gonna lie, especially in some of my younger college days. I actually wish Grammarly was around, because that would probably save me about an extra 2 hours of proofreading. You know,
man, if we would have had more of this stuff around, just think of some of the leadership.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
I'm glad we didn't have stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
It
no.
was out of the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving off of that, because I know that gets very sensitive with folks. But you know what? This is an independent channel, and guess what we do, Jasper? We do what we.
And at the end of the day, if you tuned in here, you watching it, so the joke's on you. Yeah, you shouldn't have clicked on it if you.
Hey, man.
There you go.
Yeah, I think we're looking at some pretty cool stuff coming up. So there's another distribution channel called Quibi. Quibi, I've been seeing it. It's been coming across, not only my timeline. I'm share this with the folks too. So it's also been coming around my timeline and coming up on commercials and whatnot. So I mean, there's a lot of film on here that looks like it's worth the while. Like I'm seeing Lawrence Fishburne. I'm seeing Stephen James. And I've seen some other stuff that looks like it's just going straight to Quibi.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Quibi. I really me myself, and Quibi is really limping along the way. Because when Quibi first came out, like within the first month, I believe it was, like there was a lot of the original execs that backed out, like literally left the company within days of the launch, within weeks after the initial launch. Don't know if that's a telltale story of people just not ready for the app to not do what they thought it would do, but I think really the real biggest enemy for Quibi, as is other platforms, is TikTok. Like literally, you got. Well, this is why I say that, because you got Apple Films now is putting their content on TikTok. They got films on there, and you have some other production companies that are actually considering doing the same thing. And see, Quibi, as is, Instagram Reels and TikTok for that matter, there's a lot of people trying to get into that space of the new vertical films and the new culture of, telling stories. And they don't all have to be full features, but literally the problem is really kind of now which generation is going to embrace this. And that's where I feel like, like me and you, we're coming from the same cotton, where we'll watch Quibi and we'll love it, but they got a lot of, it's like there's just a lot of heavy hitters that they're trying to pretty much be overseen through. I mean, if you think about it, not too long ago we had HBO Max's release, that really took the whole distribution channel by storm.
Yeah, it just completely engulfed DC.
There you go, right there. So literally, when you have platforms like that, man, that's just like going to dominate. Quibi, it's like it's not that Quibi is bad, because I have Quibi, I have a subscription to them. It's just literally, it's just hard to really kind of connect to say that Quibi is going to really have some type of foothold. Like right now, what I see them doing is trying out as much as they can to try to see what works. And you got to do that, but it's like the shots that they're shooting aren't hitting anything, but they're young, they're less than a year or so old. So, we'll see where things go,
That's what I'm looking for, man. That's what I'm looking for, because I heard good things about it at first. I don't know right now though. I don't know right now. I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I have the app. I have a subscription with them. And they do have like LeBron released a documentary about his the academy that he released in Akron, Ohio on there. You know, there's good content on there. It's just you got to, if you have like you, that's just one documentary. If you have that content there, you got to also have some other good stuff that's going to be competing. You just mentioned it, DC is dominating HBO Max. You got to have some serious stuff, man, that's going to really make not only the viewers go to the app, but make also the creators go to the app too. Because as a creator, my mind is saying, are the viewers there? If they're not there, I'm not using your platform. I'm going to another one, you know. So, you know, Kevin Hart, there's even like a new film that Kevin Hart had done that was on Quibi as well. I haven't seen it, but at the same time, I don't know if it's gonna if it's one of his best works neither. And I follow Kevin Hart on all of the platforms because I actually really do like Kevin Hart's work ethic, hard worker, and you know I like seeing, you know, listening to him. And he's been really pushing his audio books recently, and his new supplements that he's been kind of putting together. He's been pushing those, and he pushed the film on Quibi a little bit, but it wasn't that heavy. So I don't know, you know, if it's like, you know, if he's not pushing it that heavy, maybe it's not that great. I don't know. But
yeah, I think that I think it's great what Kev's doing, man. And you know, just the resilience that he has too. You know, without saying too much, it's certain industries, period. You know, we can't single out any one, but you know, some of them are designed a certain type of way that they'll chew anyone up and spit them out. But when it comes to people in our positions, when we're trying to do things creatively, and you know, when we have to do stuff like take out the loans or get advances and stuff.
I love how you're putting this, by the way. You know, you were saying this in a way where it's like you're not saying it, but you're saying it. Yeah.
No, you know what? Because it has to be said that way, because it can't be guaranteed that it's any one group, because you're never gonna know, you know, what manifestation the devil's gonna turn into when the devil's coming for what you want or what you got. So I mean,
yeah, no, trust me, I follow you, man. I'm right there with you, bro. I get it.
And see, the hardest part with that was his bounce back, because everybody doesn't bounce back, but you know, when you're just like, you know what, nah, I'm not going through that again. You remember certain points of your life. So for us having tough skin, you know, even if others don't have tough skin, or even if we were going over the line, you know, by something like that, you still got to have resilience. You still got to have resilience, because having, you know, talent, all of that stuff, like that's excellent, but resilience. It's a football player, just this past week, he got tossed out. He got tossed out on his yams because you know, he wanted to sneak females into the bubble. It's like, come on, man, like,
you can't be doing that, man. Like,
you could buy a small island after your first year. Like, why would you? What is this person gonna do for you once they figure out that you're cut from the team and that you don't have anything else to come back to? So his resilience, I hope that it's high, and honestly, I hope that young man actually gets another chance. I hope that wasn't his last chance. And you know, again, I'm gonna keep throwing this word out there: resilience. Yeah.
And then too, you think about Kevin,
the will to strive, man. You know, or to thrive rather.
Yeah. You gotta think Kevin has been in the game for a good minute. Like literally, like people don't think about it, but it's been about 25 years of Kevin. Really grinding and like Kevin is 42, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so like, and like literally when you have like a whole, not even the films, just a career in comedy, stand up, like the man has, he's blowing and booming now as a standalone, but this man, he has years and years of grind, that's built that resilience too.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, like what's been going on with with this football player, it's like, yeah, that's the problem of that mindset of getting here fast type thing. That's exactly what happened.
Get his bounce back though, Jasper, because at this point, if you're released, you're in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah,
you're in the middle of a pandemic, something that could have just waited. What are you gonna do now? You have to bounce back. You have to show that resilience. That's a different kind, because if you'll be able to see the difference between a spoiled kid and a kid that actually had to work for it.
Yes, sir.
And that's not so much as the haves or the have-nots having to work for it, because you can have it, or your parents can have it, and still just be
still got to work for it. Yeah.
Yeah, you still got to work for it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I sure hope so, man. I sure hope so, because that's, I'm not grouping anything, because a lot of times generations get grouped. People from certain regions and stuff get grouped. And I'll tell you what, man. Back in the days, when my parents were young, they were saying stuff like, rock and roll, devil's music, and all this other stuff now. And where are we at now?
And now the opposite. It's like, but we
generations upon generations, we changed. They even wanted to get what's his name out of there, Da Vinci out of there, because they thought he was a sorcerer.
Yeah. It's like, get out of here. You can't.
What do you mean the Earth isn't flat? Man, I'm about to get the flat earthers mad now.
That, or if you could read, you were like some type of pagan. It's like, no, I actually just am educated. Like if I can read, that doesn't mean that I'm some type of warlock or witch or something, man. Like, chill out.
It's wild, man. It's really wild. It's really wild. And I think the craziest thing about resilience and being innovative right now, I think that's pretty much the major theme of what we've been talking about tonight is, to be innovative. For one, you always got to stay on something fresh. It's just like how you said, put up videos and stuff that people actually want to see. And of course, we're gonna big us up. The Whoabouts.
Whoabouts.
One of the reasons why we can stay pretty fresh and keep our presence is because we're two guys just being ourselves, talking about things that are going on, linking you guys up with information, whether it be video gaming, film, music, you name it. Check us out for the interviews. You can see our social media information, on the screen as well. But innovative, man. We gotta keep creating, especially during the pandemic. You're not going anywhere, y'all. You're not going anywhere. We have some people out there that will be terrific coders, and you don't even know it. Some people that will probably be really dope at supply chain. Get a contract with what's that company? Amazon. Amazon's doing this thing where you could put 10 grand down, you get a truck. They'll get you the software and all that stuff. It's just like, franchising the business out. Right. They provide you with the truck, or you can use your own truck. We got to stay innovative. We got to, hopefully, that young man, if he does see this video, I hope he doesn't take, what we were saying is disrespect, but, hey, man, it is what it is during these times. You got to be innovative. You got to create. Not only content, but you got to create jobs for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, and still, like you said, like there's so many ways it's all in how you perceive it, you know, like literally I would imagine probably in the position that he's in, there's definitely some frustration on a lot of levels from the mindset of, first of all, living through it. You know, that's the first thing. And then also to probably, you know, the other stuff that he hears from many different, you know, sources. So I can get that, you know, but hell, you know, you got to look at also the fact is, like I said, you know, this everybody has decisions that we can all make, you know, every single day. And the decisions, some decisions we make sometimes uh are have the consequences, and sometimes life can sometimes throw bigger consequences that we don't deserve. I get that, but you got to look at the decisions you made where you did get repercussions for something that you did deserve, you know. Like that's the big thing. Like literally, you know, there's some, like, yeah, life will throw a cactus at you just because you said you were thirsty. Yeah, that sucks. But there are times where it's like you decided to go into this desert, you know. You know, so, you know, just, you know, if he ever sees this video, you know, hopefully, you know, he just kind of weighs all realities together, you know.
See, here's the conundrum. Could have basically been a conundrum situation, you know, when you say, you know, throw a cactus at somebody wanting some water. I mean, it's the same thing, you know. You gotta get into that cactus, you can get some water.
You can get some water, right? Yeah.
Get out of that tough situation. You gotta know how to navigate. That's all.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah, y'all, you know, we're coming close to our time. Definitely want to point you in the direction to go check my brother out, Jasper the FIlmie at Jasper Films. And is it Jasper Films and Media or multimedia?
You can just, if you go,
catch me here late, you know, just working out, the ins and outs of Machine, MK3, and giving you a finished product. You know, either during that session or reworking it a couple of times. You know, you get to see behind the scenes, and I also get to leave a living record of what's going on. You know, just in case maybe my kid might want to pick it up one day and decide that, you know, she wants to jump on here and Google it. Maybe she might have to just speak it into the atmosphere. I don't know what technology is going to look like 20 years from now.
Yeah, man.
But hopefully, you know, it's something that I can leave, you know, family, friends, you know, people out there watching. You know, so see both of our experiences. Just go again to social media channels that you see at the bottom of the screen. And I think it's about that time of night.
Yes, sir.
We will get with you guys on the flip side. Actually, you guys about the same time, Wednesday, 9 p.m. And you know, let's fill it up. Let's pack it up next time. You know, jump in the chat. You know, like, comment, subscribe, and that's a wrap.
There you go.